Hello, everybody. Can everyone hear me all right? Hello, Vengeance. Hello, Vampire A. Thanks for the video idea. I hope you saw it. Hello, Buddha. Hello, Sidious. Hello, James. Hello, Zach. Hello, Boom. What's up, Jedi Master Falls? I think you're new. Alright, and Super Gaming. Okay. Oh, wow. 10 viewers right off the gate? Alright. I'm doing alright, Zach. Just uploaded a couple uploaded video today and then a video yesterday. And then got back from the gym at 11:30. I had a crazy day at the gym today. I had never had this happen before, but I worked out like so hard that I threw up afterwards. It wasn't like a bad throw, but I was like, I had only been drinking water, so I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Then I got home and I had some protein foods to eat, but yeah, dude, my body is like super sore right now. But I think that's kind of the point of going to the gym. So that's and believe it or not, I'm not sure if anyone knows this, but technically, yesterday actually marked the day the channel was created. But the 21st was the day I uploaded my first video. So I'm right now just trying to come up with like a video idea of what I could do to celebrate that, and then I can upload it on that day. I was gonna film it afterwards, so I guess that's why you're all here. Maybe I can get some ideas of what I could do to celebrate. But that's pretty much what I've been up to. What have you guys been up to? What have you guys been playing? There you go. You hear me just fine. Okay. You're getting bigger. Yes. Yeah, apparently my trainer pointed that out. Like, I'm like supposedly getting bigger, but I'm also losing weight, which is a good thing. I went down a whole pant size, like maybe over the last 2 weeks. Like pants that I normally would like fit like perfectly, they don't fit perfectly anymore. Which is a good thing. So I went down a pant size. So that's a good thing after going to the gym for just 1 month so far. So that's a positive. Hi, Daniel. Welcome to the chat. You hear about Star Trek Resurrection, that PS5 game might by former Telltale was underrated? No, Zach. I'm not aware of Star Trek Resurgence. No, I personally am not too familiar with Star Trek games for PlayStation or even modern gaming, to be fair. Phantom Cities, you want to know, who do you think will win the Men's Royal Rumble? Oh, God. They could go in so many directions. Punk would be too obvious. Cody seems right because we need to get him to Roman. I don't think we'll do... I pray to God we don't get Roman and The Rock at WrestleMania for the belts. That is the dumbest idea because it's so obvious that The Rock cannot win. This was the same problem I had with the whole Cena versus Austin Theory match last year, because you knew Cena had to lose because Cena wasn't going to stick around for a title reign, and then Rock's not going to do the same thing. I mean, I don't even know why The Rock's doing this. Do you guys realize The Rock is 50 years old? I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's real crazy. I don't think Drew's going to win. Punk would just be too obvious. Cody's a good choice. It's supposed to be surprising and not obvious, but I mean, last year we kind of knew Cody was going to win. But if Cody wins again this year, then you know he has to win WrestleMania. Like, it's at this point, it's like, look, Roman don't really have anything to prove, and you don't have enough competition to drag this out until SummerSlam, which is like some people are thinking, oh, he's going to hold the title until next SummerSlam, and then he's going to surpass Hulk Hogan. The problem with that is that Hulk Hogan was like actively defending that championship like every week. Multiple times. Like, Roman's had like less than 15 title defenses, and like all but maybe one of them had interference. So, I don't know. You can go in any direction. Who do you think is going to win? At least you're getting rid of weakness in your body. Yeah, I could say that. You platinumed Mass Effect 3. Oh, damn, man. How long did that take you? That might be, like, I don't know, with not too many new games coming out, I'd say, like, the first few months, this is actually a good time to go back and start playing some older games. I've just primarily been focusing on Mortal Kombat so far. They released Chameleon this morning, so I've been just trying to get her used to it. And I saw your guys' poll, and I appreciate what you guys vote on, so I've already come up with how I'm going to do my streaming, my 3 days of streaming, but I'll let you guys know later on in the stream. That way people know. You've been sleeping a lot lately? Yeah, I'm not joking. I literally woke up like from about an hour and a half long nap about 30 minutes ago. I just woke up again. And workout was crazy. Like, it was so weird. Like, I went like straight to bed. Yeah. You mean your channel? Oh, you're getting bigger? Well, I guess. It's just, I wish I was doing it faster. Hang on. I think that's my trainer. Yep. Yep, my trainer's texting me. Yeah, I asked him to send me an app and some links I could use to find some good protein meals. What is your favorite DC animated universe show or movie? Animated DC? Well, obviously it's Batman. But if you're talking about movie, it'd be like Mask of the Phantasm. Something like that. That actually came out in theaters. A lot of people don't know that. Vampire, how about a very detailed review of Metal Gear Solid 3 for the anniversary? I would do that. It's just I don't have the time. And again, I still haven't even... I keep pushing this back. I still haven't even played this yet. That's crazy. What the hell is wrong with me? Metal Gear's my favorite franchise. I've had this for maybe, feels like over a month, and I still haven't played it. I don't know. I've just been consumed with just Mortal Kombat right now. Just trying to get as good as I can on that. PlayStation Portal thoughts? I never played Portal, to be fair. I know some people like it, but yeah, I was never a fan of Portal. Until Dawn movie announced today. Honestly, kind of excited. Really? That seems odd. That's such an old game. I mean, isn't that game like I feel like it's almost like 10 years old. Until Dawn release date. Holy crap! That movie's almost 10 years old. That came out in 2015. I was like, that's kind of crazy. I mean, okay, if they want to go down that route, but all right. Hey, what's up, Caleb? Welcome to the chat. Buddy, you want to know, have I heard of Dead Rising? Yes, I have. I've never played it. As far as I know, that's an Xbox exclusive franchise, so I wouldn't have been able to play that anyway, and I'd have no interest in it. Vengeance, you would like to know, do I think having a part-time championship is a bad idea? Yeah, damn right, it's a bad idea. Especially when, I hate sounding old like this, but remember there was a time where there was a rule that said the champion had to defend the championship every 30 days or they got stripped of it. That would have been what they're doing now is completely unheard of. And it makes Roman look like a weak champion. Look, I'll give Gunther a lot of credit. At least he's consistently has defended it on multiple occasions. Seth has defended it almost every week, and a lot of people I've heard online say they don't like that. Like, if you're gonna have this guy be the face of your business, he needs to be active. I mean, can you guys remember the last time Roman had a match on SmackDown? I can't even remember. Like, it feels like has he? I can't think. Like, has he ever had a match in like the past year? Like, I think the last time he had a match on SmackDown, I think it was Cena and Kevin Owens teaming up against Roman and Sami Zayn, but that was like well over a year ago. I'm like, and I think that was like the one match he had during his title reign where he had it on SmackDown. Like, come on. I mean, heck, even Brock Lesnar during his title reigns, even he defended it way more often. It's just stupid. You should play Resident Evil Survivor on. Oh dear God. Oh no, we are not touching that game. Are you crazy? G-Law wants to know, hey Brian, you played Metal Gear Solid 3 for the first time in 2014. Boy, the controls were very difficult for me. I was weird holding the square button to aim. No, I didn't have a problem with that. I know the controls aren't for everybody, but heck, they always worked for me. I never had any complaints, especially if you were used to playing the older Metal Gear Solid games, because I think Metal Gear Solid 2's controls play the same way. Phantom says you want to know classic champions like Austin, Brent, Michaels, Angle would defend their belts. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the kind of reign I would respect. I mean, that's why I think Seth's doing such a good job. But I've heard a lot of people complain that that Seth has defended too much, and I believe he got injured a little bit. I'm not sure how serious it is. Hopefully it isn't serious at all. But, like, that's what I'd like to see. Seth is a fighting champion, and dear God, I hope they don't do this stupid thing where CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, takes on Seth, and then beats him at WrestleMania. Because I don't think you should give Punk a title reign right out of the gate. Like, as far as we know, he's not had an official televised match. He had like one live event matchup against Dominic Mysterio, which was dumb. So he's not actually had an official match. So the Royal Rumble is gonna be like his first promoted match. And so I will assume he won't do a match at Elimination Chamber. So so this guy goes away for 10 years. He comes back, you immediately give him the Royal Rumble, and then just give him a title reign immediately at WrestleMania after Seth has been defending it for it feels like 6 or 7 months. I don't think that's right at all. I mean, if you're gonna have Seth lose, I would do it a little bit later, and you have Punk kind of work his way up to it. Cody came back, won the Royal Rumble, and they didn't give it directly to him when he took on Roman the first time. So, yeah. Not long, you did the Legendary Edition New Game Plus. Oh. I guess I would say that would make Mass Effect a lot easier if you did that. I never considered that. Boom wants to know, have people ever misunderstood you, thought you were someone to fear, someone who was a comedian, or someone who didn't interest anyone, or misunderstood? Well, I wouldn't say people have feared me. I think my biggest problem with people is that I'm very bad at starting conversations or walking up to people. That's kind of probably my social problem. If someone comes up to me and starts the conversation, I typically can keep it going, but I'm never good at walking up to people. And as far as I know, the whole time I've been on YouTube, no one's actually walked up to me and asked me anything. But I think that's always been just my issue. I'm usually the person who can keep a conversation going, but I'm not very good at starting one. So that's just me. But in terms of people thinking I'm a comedian or just doesn't interact with anyone, they're true in that department. But that's just how I've always been. But I would say since I've been on YouTube, I've been a lot more outgoing. I'll tell you, I'm way more outgoing than I was in high school. I'll tell you that much. Ooh, let's see. Dang. You want to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Got any advice? Oh dear God. I download Master. Jeez, this is tough. I would play some. Okay, here's what I would do. If you can, download. If depending on your console, download Legacy of the Duelist and play through the first primary campaign. I would not start on Master Duel. I think Master Duel in its current state is a bit too advanced if anyone wants to start learning Yu-Gi-Oh! But like Legacy of the Duelist actually has tutorial steps with solid decks that work for the period of time. And as you go through each different season, the duel style will get more advanced. But it's certainly not something you can jump into because there's a lot of different summoning techniques. There's normal summonings, there's tribute summonings, there's fusion summonings, there's pendulum summonings, there's ritual summonings, there's synchro summonings, there's Xyz summonings, there's link summonings. There's so many. It's so confusing right now that even I don't fully understand it. There's certain styles of summoning I stay completely away from. But yeah, that would be my advice if you want to start. How would I handle immigration? I'll be honest, Bill. I'm the wrong person to ask about this. I'm not sure. I don't really have much in opinion. It's never been something I've had to deal with, but I'll leave that to someone who's more capable. I really don't know. How would I eradicate slavery? I'm not. Again, that's a topic that I'm the wrong person to ask about that. I tend to stay away from those type of topics. Daniel wants to know, this year marks the 20th anniversary of Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, and if the remake comes out this year, it's going to play the original. Probably. I agree. That's probably the whole point. That's why they're doing it now. I know you said that you enjoyed the first two Mummy movies way back. What did you think about the third one? You mean the Scorpion King? Yeah, it was fine. I mean, it was a little unusual that we made a whole movie about a character who had maybe less than 5 minutes of screen time, and then they did that whole 3D rock fused with a scorpion monster that looks really weird. I'm surprised someone hasn't tried to go back and make that look good, because it looks, I guess maybe it looked a little funky back then, even back then, and looking at it now, it was like, ooh, what were they? I mean, interesting concept. Maybe they needed more time to work on that, but like, yeah, that was definitely interesting. But yeah, and I know they did like a few like spin-offs for the Scorpion King. I never watched any of those, but I did think the first Scorpion King movie was pretty good. Zach, you want to know? So, did you hear that the Rey Star Wars movie was canceled and we're getting a Mando Series 4 and Ahsoka Season 2? I didn't pay attention to that Rey movie thing. If it got canceled, good. If it's not, I don't care. I wasn't going to go see this. Rey is like the most uninteresting character. I didn't even watch the Rise of Skywalker. I didn't even watch it. Like, I saw the first film. Heck, I didn't even watch Last Jedi. Like, I saw the first film, and I was just kind of pissed off about it, and then I didn't even waste my time with the second one. So, I haven't even seen The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I was like, this isn't for me. This is not Star Wars how I want it. I can't even... I think the last Star Wars movie I saw was maybe Rogue One. That's probably it. Like, I didn't watch Solo. I don't even think I didn't even watch Ahsoka. Like, I saw clips of Ahsoka, and I saw what the problem was, and I was just like, that's an unavoidable problem that they had no answer for. Like, if you did not watch Rebels, which I didn't, you're not going to know what the hell is going on. And that's what happened to me. I literally did not know who these characters were. I've seen maybe 5 episodes of Rebels, and they all involved either Vader or Kenobi. That was it. Anything else, I have no idea what happened. I don't know how Ezra got where he was. I don't know what Ahsoka did outside of her encounter with Vader. I don't know any of this stuff. So I was completely lost. I don't know who these characters are. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what the connection to Thrawn was. But again, the show did not do you any favors. If you did not watch Rebels, you were going to be lost, and that was that was an unavoidable problem. And a lot of people other than me had that problem. It's like I don't even know what's going on here. What are my thoughts on the upcoming Suicide Squad game? Will it flop? There's honestly more buzz for the Batman skin being added to Arkham Knight than I wasn't gonna play Suicide Squad anyway. I saw gameplay footage of it, but that game's not for me. I'm alright. I can move on. I can skip that game. Hey, what's up, Sean? How you doing? I wanted to get the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection on Switch, but you have to install the game instead of it being in your cart, so no thanks. Yeah, I understand that. What were my favorite WB wrestlers growing up? Okay, if we're talking growing up, so probably around high school, I would say people like Randy, who still top favorite. I would say like people like Randy and Undertaker and John Cena, some of the top guys. Those are typically the guys I was the biggest fans of when I first started WWE. I didn't start watching it until probably 2005. I was about 15 at the time, so that was about when I started. What things would you fix about pro wrestling to keep promoters more safe and well, both physically and mentally? I don't know. I'm not a big enough wrestling fan. I don't watch it religiously. Like I keep tabs on it, but I've never actually sat down and watched a full pay-per-view or watched a full episode of Raw or SmackDown or NXT. I've watched clips and that's about it. I just see the little bits that happen that are the most significant part, but like I don't really follow it too much. Do you prefer USA East Coast or West Coast? Well, I've never lived on the East Coast, so it's I guess West Coast by default because I've never lived there. The last time I was on the East Coast was maybe 7 years ago when I was visiting my dad's grave for Thanksgiving. So most of my dad's family lives on the East Coast, but most of my mom's family lives on the West Coast. So that's just how I've always been. Sean wants to know, did you go into I'm going to skip that question. Just the name just increased my blood pressure, so let's move on. Really? People complain about Seth defending? Yeah, dude, there's so many people online I've seen who have complained saying, oh, Seth's gotten too much exposure. Oh, he's defending it too many times. Oh, he's fighting too much. He should be more like Roman. I was like, you need to shut the fuck up. I'm like, that's exactly what I don't want. I mean, yeah, it's stupid that they put him in up against Jinder Mahal. Like, Jinder Mahal was not going to win. He was not going to win. He's not, like, Seth is not going to lose on an episode of Raw. It would be surprising, but like WWE has not done a surprising event like that in some time. Like past the whole CM Punk thing, which I could see that coming a mile away. But yeah. What games you don't have New Game Plus do you think deserves New Game Plus? I have no idea. There are so many I think could work with New Game Plus, and there's some that just don't need it. Cold approaches are hard. Yeah, it's been cold here recently, but it's starting to warm up a bit. So, you got any favorite Resident Evil mercenary characters? You think Jill would be your favorite? No, I think if you're talking about mercenaries, I think the one I liked the most was Hunk in Resident Evil 4. I think I was an absolute beast with that. Just do a bunch of, like, dude, his neck snapping ability was so effective. Just pop, hit, snap. And it worked on everybody. It worked on even boss monsters. So that's what made it so effective. Just distract, neck snap. Shoot, neck snap. Like, you could do this in a row. That was nuts. At what point do you think WWE started to go downhill? Oh, well, I guess that depends on who you ask and when you started. I mean, when did I, maybe, I'd say, maybe around 2015-ish. Like, for me, that's kind of when I stopped actually watching episodes of WWE, so that would be my guess. Are you into Tekken? No, absolutely not. And hey, what's up, Jackie boy? How you doing? I am not into Tekken at all. Have I ever dealt with racism? Not in a long time, but I've never actually, believe it or not, the only kind of racism I ever experienced was during high school, and it was from other black people because I wasn't ghetto. That's why I think so little of ghetto black people. I typically stay away from them. They were convinced. I think I've told this story before. They were like my nickname from black people for all 4 years of high school was Oreo because they were convinced I was a white guy in a black person's body. That always pissed me off. Believe it or not, I had like I'm the most uncomfortable around other black people. I'm sorry to say that, but I really am. Like you can put me in a room with any other group, and I would feel completely uncomfortable. I would be comfortable with Asians. I would be comfortable with Hispanics. I'm really good with Hispanics because that's like pretty much what I was exposed to all throughout high school, and that's like the majority of my brother's wife's family. And they're sweet, and white people have always been just fun to talk to, but black people, it's like they're the hardest to connect with. My mom kind of feels bad because we weren't really raised around many other black kids, and I can actually name how many actual genuine black friends I've had over the course of my life. I can name the number. I can fit on one hand. Like my closest friends are like one black person. That's my brother, who I've known for almost 30 years now. But yeah, I've never experienced like any kind of racist from anyone else. Like I've never had a people are saying, "Oh, if you're black, you need to be afraid of the police." Dude, I love talking to the police. I recently spoke to a police officer the other day, just kind of talking like what steps would I need to take if I want to be like a responsible gun owner. And he was this cop was a white cop, and he gave me detailed answers of the steps I need to take and where I need to go and what forms I need to fill up. Like we're talking like a good 15 minutes. I not for once felt I was in danger. And heck, I've been pulled over by the cops before, and it was every single time it happened, it was entirely my fault. It was nothing really seriously bad, like maybe a taillight went out, or maybe I forgot to turn my headlights on. But like, I have no fear of the police at all. I've never even thought about experiencing any kind of police brutality or racism. Absolutely not. I mean, my dad was the same way because my dad was like the only black person I know who generally liked listening to country music. And he was always comfortable with the police. So, no, outside of the only racism I've ever experienced was from other black people. You missed the days where summoning Gemini Elf would have been a valid move. Oh dear God! I miss the goats. I wish they had a mode like that in Master Duel. I would be so. I could duel now, no problem. But like, yeah, those were the days when dueling was simple and fun and strategic, and duels lasted more than one turn. In the meta dueling, that's pretty like duels last like 3 turns at most. It's like if you go first, you automatically win. It's like, okay, I'm gonna build my board. If the opponent cannot break my board, you're gonna win on the 3rd turn anyway. Like duels are so fast, it's crazy. And then floodgates. I mean, even I've had to force to use floodgates because that's just how the game is played. And dear God, there's so many different archetypes that are just annoying. Tearlaments are the worst. I hate Tearlaments. I hate Runics. I hate Labyrinths. If I even see a Castera monster, I immediately surrender and move on to the next duel. Like, I'm not even going to waste my time. And like the decks that I stick with, I have 10 different decks. Like, they're really solid decks. And they can compete with some of these top tier decks. But, like, they're not fun to duel against. They're not. They're not even fun to watch. If Konami rebooted Metal Gear, do you think they might get an open world game? Yeah, I don't see... I mean, wasn't that kind of what MGS5 was? That was kind of open world-ish. Boom wants to know, have I ever had a bad dream haunt you at some point in your life? If so, it'd be okay. Yeah, I've had several bad dreams. I think the worst one that comes to mind was... I had a dream where, I don't know, I was on this bus, and it was going off a cliff, and my dad was still on there, and I had to watch him die. But this happened years before he actually passed away, so I don't know, maybe that was a hint of things to come, but that's like the one consistent bad dream that, it doesn't haunt me anymore, but I like remember the most. as being like one of the worst dreams I had that sticks with me. You want the good Sub-Zero back in Mortal Kombat. Well, he's there. Technically he is. To be fair, he's actually in the game as a cameo character. Like the cameo the cameo Sub-Zero, I believe, is Kuai Liang, and the cameo Scorpion is Bihan. Not Bihan, it's Hanzo. But then we're thinking that maybe Hanzo might be the new Takeda. There's rumors that that's what they're doing. So technically they are in the game. They're just cameo characters. I mean, the third one for the Chinese mummy. Oh dear God, I forgot about that one. Oh, that one. Oh, it was. And it wasn't. It wasn't bad. It didn't make sense to call it the Mummy because there were no mummies. That Dragon Emperor guy, he was not a mummy. That is not a mummy. So why are you calling it the Mummy? Like, you don't have to have. It's set in Egypt, and I understand that, but like, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot about that film. It wasn't bad, but again, I guess it was just kind of forgettable. Favorite Final Fantasy battle theme? Easily the Seymour Flux battle theme. It gets used a few times throughout the game in other boss fights, but that's the one that sticks to me the most. That's definitely my favorite. However, I will say Final Fantasy 16 had some incredible boss fight music also. There's some really good ones. The rumor is Arkham series making a return, and they're going through the roof right now. They really hope it's not true. I hope it's not true. We don't need to go back to Arkham. That storyline is done. Let's move on. Let's do other things. We don't have to focus totally on Arkham. There are other great storylines that we can do with Batman. You watched MK21 last week and thought Cole was Johnny. A lot of people thought that, but no, that was not Johnny Cage. He's just some new character, and I really hope his role is seriously reduced because he cannot lead. Not in a Mortal Kombat story. Like, if you would add like a new character and act like a fish out of water storyline, that's fine, but like, he cannot be the lead of this franchise. He just cannot. Super Gaming wants to know, Star Wars should be a video game series. There are video game series, so it already is in a sense. Boom wants to know, which movie or game gave me nightmares? Probably Event Horizon, movie-wise. That gave me nightmares. That's the scariest movie I've ever seen. But now I can watch it pretty easily, but still freaks me out. In terms of games, none. Although there's only 3 games that have ever scared me, and that's Dead Space 1, 2, and Resident Evil 4 when I played it the very first time, because that was my introduction to Resident Evil, and that scared the crap out of me. Is DMC... Oh, no, it's not the worst game I've ever played, but it shouldn't exist. No, don't worry, Sean, it's alright. You thought DMC was a decent game, but the story was awful. Yeah, it was awful, and it shouldn't exist. What is my favorite arcade game? Oh, I would say one of my favorite arcade games I have. I'm not sure if you guys remember this. It was the Konami X-Men game that had like a double panoramic screen that you could play with up to like 6 people. The one that I'm most fond, that I know that I play the most, and when I go to play one, they have one that has 4 joysticks. But I know the double panoramic screen one had like 6 joysticks, and you could play any one of the 6 X-Men. That's the one I enjoy playing a lot. But I do have that on PlayStation 3. It's like an updated version with better visuals. But yeah, that's the one that I know I enjoy the most growing up. What about Jill's flip kicks? What about it? I mean, it's cool, but yeah. Would cold approaches, walking up to people to start a conversation? Oh. Yeah, I'm not good at that. I would prefer someone to walk up to me, but no one ever has. I might walk up to someone if it's someone I know online, because that's what happens a lot at last year's MGS Con, as I'm sure you can be aware of, which it is happening again, and I've already got my ticket and everything, so I'm going back to MGS Con in July, so there's like a lot of people that I knew online that I could walk up to because I knew them. But like in terms of walking up to someone I don't know, that's what I have problems doing. Like if I knew, like, I don't know any of your guys' actual names because you guys all have, like YouTube names. But like if I knew who you were by your actual name and I knew what you looked like and I saw you, I could walk up to you like that. But yeah. What is my overall rating for God of War Valhalla DLC? I haven't finished it though. I'll be honest, but it's okay. I like it. But rating, I give it like an 8. I mean, it's some nice DLC, but it doesn't affect how I feel about Ragnarok. I mean, Ragnarok is still a 10 out of 10. This is like a bit extra, but it's it's fine. It wasn't needed, but I appreciate it. Which soldier part of Dutch's team in Predator 1987 was your favorite? I didn't have a favorite member. I mean, Predator's fine, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. So I don't know who else was on his team. So by name, like I recognize them, but I don't know like their names. Vengeance wants to know: do you ever go back and rewatch your older videos? Oh, definitely, absolutely. I go back and rewatch some of my older videos. I watched like some of my like first videos just to kind of get myself ready for trying to do what I could think about doing for anniversary. And I do go back and I rewatch a lot of my Versus Series matchups, and I see how I feel about them because I still get people commenting on them and telling me I did a solid job. So yeah, of course I go back and rewatch them. Well, one of the biggest lessons I learned from my friend Rachel, who inspired me to start YouTube, one of the best pieces of advice that she gave me is never upload something that you wouldn't watch yourself. And I have followed that rule for every single video I've uploaded except one video, which I feel bad at. I think I unlisted. I don't think I deleted it, but I think it's unlisted. But I think some people know what video that is. Butter wants to know, favorite Final Fantasy victory fanfare. My two favorites are 7 and 16. You know what? I would say mine is probably 10. That's the one that I enjoy the most. I similarly don't fit in the social beings of Indian descent and obsessed with punk rock. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was for me throughout high school. It was like they were like confused. It's like, oh, you're black, but you don't listen to 50 Cent and Eminem, and you don't wear do-rags, and you don't sag your shirts. Like, no, I sag your pants. Like, no, I like to wear my pant on my waist. I don't like it hanging off my ass. And no, I don't listen to 50 Cent. I don't listen to I don't listen to rap or stuff like that. I like listening to other things. And there's like, man, you ain't black. It's like, well, if being black means not having a bunch of baby mamas and not going to jail and not having to run from the police, if that's what it means to be black in that time period, then I'm glad I'm not. But yeah, I never actually told my parents that. Do you believe that every game in the future should have open world entry? No. Not every game has to be open world. If every game was open world, then how do you mix? If every game was an open world game, then how on earth could you make them feel very, very different? I mean, that's why you have different genres of gamings. So not every game feels the same. They all need to feel unique. Have you ever played Burnout Paradise? Yes, I do, and I have that. When you play Alien vs. Predator games, which character of that species do I choose first? I typically go with the Predator, and then I go with the human, and then I go with the Xenomorph. That's what I did with the last Alien vs. Predator game that I own, and technically probably the only Alien vs. Predator game that I own. Who is the dumbest villain you've seen in a game? Dumbest? Dumbest villain. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I know who the dumbest villain I've ever seen in a movie is, but I can't think of a game. There's been some that have been kind of questionable, but like awful, dumbest, yeah. What do you think makes Rush Hour 2 a bit of a superior than the first film? I just think it's funnier. I think some of the action set pieces are a little bit better, but yeah, it's a great film. Do you ever play games online for my brother? Yeah, we haven't been able to play recently, but like the primary game that we would play is Apex. We've got hundreds of hours of playing that together. But right now he's right now getting ready for his son to be born, and I doubt he's gonna watch this, but I seriously thought about buying a PlayStation 5 for him so we could play this. He's still using a PlayStation 4. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna run out of support sometime this year. I think at some point they're not gonna be making any more games. And he actually hasn't bought any new games himself. Any new games that he gets from me. So like his copy of Horizon and his copy of God of War Ragnarok, were from me. I bought them for him. And I'm just concerned that if that when his son's born, he's gonna have even less time to play games. So that's why, like, I was like very much on the verge of buying him a PlayStation 5 just so we could play together, because that's how he got his first PlayStation 4. He didn't buy his own. I bought him the. Not sure if you guys remember this. I bought him the Batman Arkham Knight Collector's Edition PlayStation 5 console, which is something I would have wanted, but I bought him that so we could play games together. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. It's been a while since we played together. I'm gonna be seeing him when his son is born sometime or mid next month. That's my plan. But yeah, like I think he's just more focused on becoming a parent for the first time. So yeah, I think our time to play video games is going to be greatly reduced from what it's been. But it has been a while since we've actually played together. But it's just timing. You remember back in the day, you used to call DMC Devil May Cry 5 before. That must have been a funny time. Do I have any shirts you don't wear but you don't get rid of? Oh yeah, I have a few of them. They're older shirts. They were shirts that were like medium sized that I simply can't fit anymore because they're too tight. So like my primary shirt size right now is a large, but I do have some medium sized shirts that I had when I was like in high school. Or, you know what? I can show you guys. Hang on, I can show you. Yeah, like this is my old. I would say starting our sophomore year, our school started having us wear kind of not so much like uniform shirts, but they gave us like shirts that we had. And if you were part of the magnet program, because we had two different programs, you were either in AOIT or AOC. I was in AOC, and we had like shirts that had like our names and the magnet programs that we had. So this one says. That might be hard for you guys to see, I'm not sure, but it says like Desert Pines High School Academy of Communications, and that's pretty much me working on like with cameras or media. And yeah, this is a medium, and I could actually still put this on. It's a tight fit, but yeah, I could still wear it. So like I have stuff like that. Like I have like some of my got a couple other ones. Like I'm not sure if anyone remembers this. Like I have like three. This is like an old 3TR shirt. I had this created my first year, and this is supposed to be like a jersey. I have them in three different colors. I have a red one, a white one, and a green one. And I actually wore this with me when I went to E3. But I can't fit this one anymore because this one's an adult medium, and so I can't fit this anymore. But I actually thought at one point that like if I got big enough, people might actually want to buy shirts that have my channel's name on there. But I figured no one would wear no one would wear a shirt that has my channel on it. So that's the only one in existence. But yeah. What is my favorite boss fight from both God of War 2018 and 2000 Ragnarok? I would say my favorite from 2018 was the dragon fight, and I would say Ragnarok, it would be probably the Valkyrie fights. Those ones are actually tough. You think Wesker Do you think Wesker, if he was in Insomniac Spider-Man games, no, he would not be a great villain. He would not be a side villain. Like Spider-Man would deal with Wesker quite easily. Like he's like, and Wesker feels like a big dog in Resident Evil, but if you put him in like a majority of the other franchises, he wouldn't really be all that effective. Like Spider-Man has dealt with worse people than Wesker. The Kingpin would be more of a threat. Which part of a woman's body do I think is the most attractive? I would say her eyes. Easily her eyes. That's the first thing I focus on. Do I have a favorite famous artist? If you're talking like music artist, it would be like Michael Jackson, if that's what you mean. If you had a game room, would you be tempted to buy an authentic arcade machine? You're damn right I would. Like, that's my plan. Like, when I move, and if I can get like 2 different rooms, because right now my plan is just to make sure my bedroom's in one spot and my filming location's in another. But if I had my own game room, would I get like an actual arcade cabinet? You're damn right I would. And I'm not talking about those smaller ones that you can buy in Best Buy. I'm talking about like a full size one. I would absolutely do it. I would have to just make sure it's on the bottom floor. I wouldn't want to get an arcade cabinet that you had to climb up stairs. But yeah, you're damn right I would, and I already know the perfect place to get one. We actually have an antique arcade cabinet like store here in town, and I know there's like maybe 2 or 3 cabinets that you could actually buy for like $500, $600, $700, and these are like originals. But yeah, you're damn right I would get one, absolutely. If I ever get my own house, that's like a must get. Arguing with Final Fantasy fans makes me realize how obnoxious Cloud and Aerith shippers are. Yeah, I get that feeling too. Have I ever met anyone famous? Yes, I have. I've met 2 people. I met Mike Tyson once when he came to work, but I will say the person I've met the most is, you guys might find this surprising. It's actually Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav actually lives close to where I am now, and he comes into my job and he bowls like every week or every other week. And he's been doing that for like the past 5-6 years. So I actually know him by name. And we've actually talked a number of times. Let me see if and I have like pictures that go back like 5 years. Like, this might be a little hard for you guys to see, but I have so many pictures of me and Flav, and he knows where I am. He actually comes up to me and we'll talk. I'm curious how this is gonna look like. Like, if you guys, I've known Flav for years. Yeah, and he'll actually come up to me and talk to me about a few things, and I'll go up to him and talk to him about a few things. But yeah, probably the last 5-6 years, and he's a really good bowler. He really is. He's a fantastic bowler. I will say this. At one point, I want to say maybe 2 months ago, someone told me Celine Dion came in, and I didn't believe that at all. I was like, isn't Celine Dion suffering from a muscle disease right now? I don't think she would be out. But those are the 3 that I know, because we have a lot of celebrities here in Vegas. I would just think it's a little bit weird that they would go this far out from the strip where they typically would live to go to a bowling alley. And they would typically come during Cosmic, because if they came during Cosmic, no one would know that they were there. My sister claims she met Michael Jackson once, because apparently he came into her bookstore. They had to shut the store down, obviously. But I don't think my younger sister's actually met a celebrity. But that's just the primary one that I've met. And we got 11 more minutes. Hot take, open world games is a bit overrated. I wouldn't say it's overrated, but they can't be overdone if too many developers try to make them. But I don't think they're overrated. Is Fortnite so popular? I don't know. I've never played Fortnite, so I'm not sure. Pretty sure the dumbest gaming villain of anyone is the Resident Evil Villains post Wesker. Nope, I've seen dumber. Back to open world games, entry games. What is the meaning should be for every franchise have... Wait, what? What I was meaning was, should every franchise have an open world chapter? No, I don't think that at all. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think that. It's not necessary, because then you make it kind of a fad. As a Die Hard fan, did you know there's an underrated version of Die Hard 4? An unrated? Yes, I have, and it's great. But heck, I think the theatrical cut is also great too. That's Die Hard 4 is my second favorite Die Hard film behind only the first one. I actually like it more than 2 and 3. But yeah, I know there's an unrated version. Have I ever gotten into a really heated debate with someone about a movie or a game? No. Not a game or a movie, but definitely a versus series matchup. That has happened multiple times. Do I have a favorite post-apocalyptic game or game series? I wouldn't say game series, but game. I would say the one that sticks out to me most is the Mad Max game that came out like 10 years ago. The game was far better than I think anyone gave it credit for. Which direction? Let's see. What with the direction that Insomniac is going with Spider-Man, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to kill off Peter Parker in Spider-Man 3. If they do that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but heck, I'm not going to play Spider-Man 3 at all. I'm done with Spider-Man from them, so I'm more focused on what their Wolverine game is going to be. Okay, how far down are we? We're okay. We're almost at the bottom. If you were served human meat from Hannibal Lecter, would I eat it or refuse? I would refuse it because I'm not a cannibal. Favorite artist that draws or paints? Oh, artistic artist. No, I can't say I have one. Do I use a 12-hour clock or a 24-hour clock? I stick to 12-hour clocks, but I could work with a 24-hour clock. My dad was in the military, so I know exactly if I used a 24-hour clock, I would know the times pretty easily. So Wesker's out of Resident Evil is small-time threat to superheroes. You're damn right he is. He is very small-time. Do I like children? I don't anymore. Not since I got my arcade job. My arcade job really convinced me why I should never have kids. Because, that's kids. They got a real serious dark side, and a lot of people don't know how to raise them properly. And I've seen some pretty crazy things that kids have done that have just been hard to explain. You said you want a Final Fantasy VI remake. Do you think they should do an updated style? Yeah, I would prefer that. Like, if they didn't want to do a remake, do an updated style of it. Perfectly. That would be fine. Have I ever shot a real gun before? No, I wanted to. I did once. My dad only let me do this once. My dad let me hold his handgun once. It was unloaded, but the funny part is that I didn't even realize it. Like he held me, he handed it to me, I was holding it, and I was pointing it directly at my little sister and didn't even notice it. But he was like, Brian, please do not point the gun at your sister. It's like, oh snap, I am pointing at her. But luckily it was empty, so I didn't have gut. That was like the first time I learned, like, the first thing you do anytime you are handed any gun is you check to see if it's loaded. So I haven't held a gun since, but I think getting a gun soon might be on my list of things to do. What is my favorite Sylvester Stallone movie? Maybe Rocky 4, probably. I think Spider-Man 3 is a good movie. I think it's a good movie too. It's just not great. It's got some problems, but I think it works. Do you think we will ever get another Linkin Park album? I don't think so. I don't think so either. I don't think so. Yeah, I think they're done. I think they're done. And if it's any consolation, that last album was awful. So I would prefer whatever's left, they don't do anymore. I'm more curious to see if they're gonna do like another 20th anniversary for like Miss Midnight or stuff like that. Like stuff like that, I'd be open for. But like in terms of Linkin Park going on tour, making another album, I don't think I think they're done, and it's fine. They were going downhill anyway, so I'm all right with them not making any more music. They've got a great library of music that'll last for decades to come. Kids only suck when their parents don't raise them right. I know some good kids. There probably are some good kids, but like from my job, I don't get exposed to them. Like, the kids I get exposed to are all demon spawns. They're all demon spawns, and I just hate being around them. There have been. Ugh. If you were the chief police at Raccoon Police Department Resident Evil 2, what would I do? I would get the hell out of the city as quick as I can and not worry about saving anyone else. I'd quit my job and I'd get out of the city immediately. Which of these two types of Cerberus weapons do I prefer? The one from Devil May Cry 3 or the one from Devil May Cry 5? Easily Devil May Cry 5. It had better weapons, easily. Not to mention, Chester isn't with them anymore. Sorry. No. That's not an open wound. It's been long enough. That doesn't bother me anymore. What streaming site do you use the most? I haven't. Oh, you know what? Now that we have 5 minutes left, now's the perfect time to point it out. Okay, so here's how streaming is going to work. I did the whole voting thing, and I wasn't too happy with what was the popular choice, but I know what I am going to do. Starting, I believe, next week. Starting next week on the. Just double checking. Starting on the 22nd, Monday, because our anniversary day is the 21st. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do one mystery stream here on YouTube, and it'll be a different game every time I stream. And then on Twitch, I'm going to do about 1 or 2 hours, or about an hour and a half, on Twitch on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And that is going to be a game that is voted on by you guys. That way, everyone kind of gets what they want. You get a mystery game every week on YouTube, so it keeps you guys guessing. So you might see a new game that you didn't even know about, and I will play that for a good 2 hours. And then the next day, I'm going to be streaming 2 days straight on Twitch, and that's going to be a game I'm going to consistently play every following week until I beat it. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm happy to start, because I already know what game I want to start. Heck, I'll probably Twitch stream might even be this. I might finally start playing this. So if you guys want to see me play Metal Gear, you might follow me on Twitch there. I just don't know what the proper time is, so I'm gonna have to do a poll figuring out what time works for everybody, so I know when to start streaming, so that the most of you can actually come in and join in. So you wouldn't let Stars look into Umbrella? Probably not. Who is my favorite WWE storyline of all time? I think my favorite WWE storyline was the one for Survivor Series 2005. The build-up for that was just incredible. Who was your favorite female character from Devil May Cry? Probably Lucia. She's probably my favorite. I mean, watching shows and movies for streaming. I would say the one I probably watch the most is maybe Netflix. That's one I watch most. But I have multiple streaming services. I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Amazon Prime. I think that's about it. Just those three. Yeah, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. Yeah, I think that's about it. Do you think Devil May Cry 6 should have open world? No. Stick to the story. Stick to what we're doing. Don't try to venture out and add things that aren't necessary. Please do not do that. It is not necessary. Is Devil May Cry a hack and slash Resident Evil? No, it is not a hack and slash Resident Evil. It's way cooler than Resident Evil in a number of key departments. Do you have any Arkham games platinums? Yes, I do. I'm pretty sure I have the first 2 platinum. I don't think I platinum Arkham Knight or Arkham Origins, but I do know I platinumed Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. Those ones I do know for a fact. Are you and my brother into the same games? I would say so. He just doesn't get to play them as much. But yeah, we typically do have the same sort of tastes. Yeah, I would say so. Who is my favorite Stars member from Resident Evil? I don't know. Chris Redfield, I guess. Okay, and we got like 1 more minute. So let's one or 2 more questions, and then we'll cut it. We'll make it a day. Do I like modern Resident Evil? It's okay as long as it stays third person. So, I didn't play 7, but I played Golden 8, and that was okay. All right, let's get like 1 more in. Okay, yeah, we managed to get all the questions in. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it there, and I'm gonna try to come up with something to film to celebrate the anniversary of the channel on the 21st. And I'm also going to post a poll, letting you guys know, letting me know what time would you like the stream to happen. Because at least on Wednesday, I know I'm going to do TPQ and then immediately jump into Twitch. So keep your eyes out for that. Remember, if you guys have any ideas for future videos, please let me know in a comment or in the community center so I know what to work on next. And yeah, that should be about it. Am I tired of old cast coming back and acting in bad movies? You're damn right I am. So, thank you guys for stopping by. You guys are awesome. You guys have a lot of great ideas. I had a fun time doing the stream, and hopefully I can't wait to start live streaming and gaming, live streaming next week. So, like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you all guys next stream.